Chapter 2. When opportunity knocks, call in sick. Just kidding. Put in a few days' leave. Nothing can prepare you for the first time you experience the thundering sound of an F1 racing car from up close. It's like you cannot get those little yellow earplugs in deep enough. And then you realize the sound is not entering through your ear channels. It's coming up from your chest cavity. You're actually not hearing the sound at all. You're feeling it through your entire body. Combine that with the smell of combusted high-octane racing fuel and melted rubber, and you're in petrol head heaven. In 2004, a good friend of mine invited me to join him on a trip to attend the Malaysian Grand Prix in Kuala Lumpur. I said yes so fast I don't even remember packing or figuring out where I would find spending money. First thing I knew, we were on the plane. Aubrey had been employed by Daimler Chrysler Financial Services for a number of years at the time, and he had won the Employee of the Year award that year, and the trip for two to the Malaysian F1 Grand Prix was the prize. I've never been to an F1 race before, so the 3 days at the Grand Prix was absolutely mind-blowing. But 3 days feel like 30 seconds at the speed of F1. After the Grand Prix, we had 5 days left to take in the sights and sounds of that great city. Ari was looking at purchasing a digital camera, and so he started exploring the huge techno malls. Now, if you've ever been to Kuala Lumpur, you'll know that it's a little difficult to explain what it feels like to walk into a 5-story mall and see nothing but gizmos, gadgets, and the latest electronic technology. If you're into high-tech stuff, it's total bliss, of course. If you're not, well, I guess there's always the 312 channels of foreign TV back at the hotel room. As we were backtracking through one of the malls according to Aubrey's best-priced list for the camera, I noticed a shop stocked wall-to-wall with a single brand of product, Raceton cars. Small radio-controlled cars about 15 centimeters in length, packaged in tin-shaped containers, with the lid of the container doubling as a simple 4-function radio control unit. I knew my son would love them, and so I bought one for about 150 rand. Actually, I bought two, one for myself as well. The next day, while hovering through a mall down the street from there, one of those little Raceton RC cars, exactly like the ones I bought the day before, came screaming past me at what must have been at least 40 kilometers per hour. I swung myself around to see where it was coming from, and I noticed a young man of about 20 with a control unit in his hand. Curiosity and the need for speed got the better of me, and I needed to find out how he managed to get that kind of performance from the little car. I walked over to him, and after about 10 minutes of beating my brain senselessly against the language barrier, I walked off with a piece of paper containing 3 bits of information: the name Suat Pumbang, a Bangkok telephone number, and a hotmail.com email address. I wasn't aware of it at the time, but opportunity was knocking, and I had just answered. It turned out that the young, innovative Suat Pumbang and 3 of his friends were running a small engineering shop in the middle of Bangkok, where they were designing and, without breaking any intellectual property laws, manufacturing low-cost, plastic injection-molded, aftermarket hopper parts for Raceton cars. At the time, the Raceton brand had a large footprint throughout China, Asia, Europe, and the United States. Suat was exporting his products to all these markets from a shop the size of my office at home. He had taken a good quality product and through innovation turned it into a really great product. My wife and I were homeschooling our kids back then, and I thought this would be a great opportunity for a homeschool project. So I got the kids together and ran it by them. The plan was to put some pocket money into a kitty, import some of the Raceton cars from China, some parts from Suat, register a domain name, put up an open-source e-commerce website and shopping cart, incorporating a no monthly fee credit card payment gateway, and start taking online orders. We had little to no knowledge about e-commerce, website building, or payment gateways, but we had lots and lots of passion. We loved playing with RC cars, and we had time and access to Google. After about a month of very little sleep, as the first small shipment of cars and parts arrived, we went live with tinracers.com. The first thing we did was to sell Raceton cars to every conceivable family member and friend. With that market exploited, I'll never forget the excitement and anticipation we felt waiting for the first legitimate online order to come through. I had set up SMS notifications with my ISP on emails containing the word order in the subject line. In that way, we wouldn't need to check the email account every 15 minutes. The first week went by, then the next, and the next, and the next, with not a single order coming through. We were confronted with the harsh realities of e-commerce. We had a worldwide web store, and nobody knew about it. We had no money to advertise, and so it was time to innovate. One morning, as the kids were starting to lose hope and interest in the project, I called them together and said, let's see if we can get some free advertising. I took 3 of the RC cars from the stock, did the most radical hop-ups on each of them, inserted fully charged rechargeable batteries, and sent them off neatly packaged to the editors of Popular Mechanics, TechSmart, and SA Modeling magazines. 1 month later, all 3 published a small product review titled Tin Racers, We Make Them Go Faster, RC Cars Everybody Can Afford. Within days, we started getting our first orders, and from day 1, we adopted this marketing strategy. Every order went out with something extra of real value, at no extra charge and without any prior notice to the customer. We always over-delivered without any strings attached. The word-of-mouth marketing spin-off this created simply blew us away. 11 months after we made our first sale, our turnover reached 100,000 Rand for that month, the month of December 2005. We kept the marketing momentum going through giveaways, lucky draws, and weekend shopping center promotions. I designed and built a lightweight portable racetrack system to race the cars on, booked stands at expos like the Castrol Extreme Motor Show, and even got the odd TV show to notice and feature our little project. By the end of 2007, 36 months after we launched the homeschool project, the kids and I had made 1 million Rand selling RC toy cars and parts on the internet at between 169 and 4,000 Rand per order. I sold tinracers.com for 275,000 Rand in December 2008, and recently a business partner and I bought it back. We've not yet considered any partnership deals with the kids though. This is one of the most grassroots level practical examples of great innovation I can offer as inspiration. The fact is, it required one innovative move after the other. My friend Suat had to see the potential in a good product and make it great by implementing his own ideas. I needed to educate myself on the fly in the basics of e-commerce, a field completely foreign to me, and we had to figure out ways to advertise and market with very little money. All of the above required renewal of thought processes, decision-making, and attitudes. Whatever we did, we kept playfulness at the core of the business. In the end, it all came down to the basics. Chance. They've been out of production for decades now, yet have you noticed how many VW Beetles you see when you decide to specifically be on the lookout for them? Let's face it, chance does come into play to some extent with any opportunity that rocks up at your door. This you have very little control over, but you do stack the odds in your favor if you keep a positive attitude with your eyes open and your ears on the ground. I'm convinced that we miss many opportunities simply because we're not on the lookout for them. If your security gate puts your front door out of reach, at least make sure the batteries and the buzzer are fresh. Work. Most worthwhile opportunities do not come with a self-starter. They need to be fueled up and push-started, and once you get them going, you need to keep a close eye on them all the time. You're going to need to push and run behind your dream before you can get on it and enjoy the ride. Risk. There's no way around this one. It takes courage, so brace yourself. Fail. When you start a business from scratch, every little thing you do seems to have a noticeable result or impact, either positive or negative. If some aspect of your efforts fail early on, it might feel like the whole venture was a bad idea. Don't let failed marketing attempts, for instance, surprise you. Be ready for when failure shows itself, and then give it a big fat hug. It's not a monster trying to take you down. It's a great teacher. All it's trying to do is to show you what doesn't work. Persist. Be hard-headed. If at first you don't succeed, put your back into it and give it a second go. most of the time you'll need to try more than once to break through the barriers. Learn. Stay teachable. Be prepared to learn as you go. Even if you have your PhD, you are guaranteed to face challenges you were never prepared for. You'll be amazed at how many great mentors there are out there that would love to share their knowledge and see you succeed. Over-deliver. There's something very rewarding about a truly satisfied customer. First of all, they tend to come back, but more importantly, they tend to tell a friend without prompting. We all love a pleasant surprise. I truly believe that over-delivery is still one of the most rewarding marketing strategies around.